Now, moving into the other rumor that recently came out, and this player I have no idea about. Maybe you guys have more idea than me. I don't know. So, French League, Rams. Supposedly, Liverpool are eyeing a move for 20-year-old winger. Hopefully, I don't say his name wrong. Kamaldeen Sulemana. Sulemana. Supposedly is very impressive. A lot of people are talking about him, and you guys can look it up. Just type in Rams Liverpool winger, and it's going to show up. Kamaldeen Sulemana. Now, I'm not going to ask you about the player itself, guys, but I'm going to ask you about different profiles similar to this, and this is like a similar Jeremy Doku type of profile. So, Damon, have you seen this guy first of all? And if not, what options out there do you think Liverpool should go for in a cheap, as far as like winger goes?
I've not seen him though. I've seen the Terrier guy, the other Ren player. And Ren are actually getting it. Looking at other leagues, Ren are really coming up the league a lot recently. Last year or two, they're really, a team to watch out for. Ren, so I think they must have some talented players there. I know Terrier's a decent player. And so they must have a good group of talented players to be pushing up that league the way they have. And they haven't been there for the last 5 years until recently.
Am I wrong to think it's Camavinga? Did Camavinga came from Rennes as well? He did, right?
I think so. Yeah. So they are producing some talent. I've just noticed where they are in the league and how they're pushing on, and they're getting some good victories under the belt. I've noticed. So they must have some talented players coming through, and he must be one of them. So I won't really count him out because I've not seen him yet, but I trust what I see in terms of Ren and what they're producing at the moment. In terms of other wingers, Cody Gakpo, sorry, he is special. Again, tonight he scored 2 goals. I don't know if you've seen his goal earlier on where he shimmied and he faked a shot and he took about 3 players on at the same time. Like, just ridiculous. He's a talent.
Young,
so I'd probably go
captain. Top goal scorer, very tall, very strong, fast. It looks like he has it all. I don't know if he's going to come in cheap, but Cody Gakpo from PSV, right?
Yeah, I think it would be quite cheap, to say it's from PSV. They don't really sell for big money, Dutch teams.
Well,
he went for like 20-something million.
That's true. Matty, same question as you. Different options to go for in the forward line. And have you seen this guy that I was telling you about? I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Sulemana. Let's just say his last name, Sulemana.
He looks all right on a market value of 18 mil, but what worries me is he missed 13 games last season with back problems, and he's already missed 3 games this season with knee problems, and he's already 20. So, yeah, Liverpool will probably go and buy him, because that's just a typical Liverpool sign to buy someone who's injury prone. But he has contributed to 50% of Rennes' goals in the Europa League this season, which is interesting, really. Still yet to score this year. He scored once in League One, but he can play the left, the right, and the centre, and I think that's the ideal profile for Liverpool. Someone who can play both positions. They signed him for 15 mil from that Norgårdsgade in Denmark, so obviously they thought something of him in last season when they brought him in, and he's still playing this year after missing the back injury. So he's going straight into the team whenever he's fit, and I think that does speak value of him. Really, he is only 20, so he's going to keep progressing. I think it's someone who we'd probably look to see how he gets on this season, maybe even next season before we brought him in. But he looks exciting. He can play across the whole of the front three, which I think is important for Liverpool, because when Salah, I know he's never injured, but if he is injured, the drop-off's stupid to anybody else for Liverpool. So I feel like we need someone who can play them positions better, because like Jota, as good as he is for Liverpool, I hate it when he plays the right. I hate it. I just don't think he's nowhere near the player he is. Same with Luis Diaz. He's a lot more effective on the left. So someone who can play effectively on the left, the right, and down the middle, I think's invaluable to the club, really. It's just his injury problems in his 2 seasons in the first one of Europe's big 5 leagues. He's already missed 16 games in 2 seasons, which worries me.
Interesting. And maybe alternative options for January, so for cheap, that you may consider, Matty. Have you ever thought about maybe a few guys, or would you just rather wait for a big winger next summer?
I'd probably rather wait for a big winger. One player who really excites me, you probably wouldn't get him off Real Madrid now, is Rodrigo from Real Madrid. I think he's a phenomenal player. But I just don't think you'd get him. I think he's as valuable to them as Vinny Jr. But I don't really, to be honest with you, I haven't really thought much of attackers. It's more midfield because I feel like our attack's all right. And I know people are hating on Darwin Núñez and stuff, but he's still only 22. He's going to become world class. I've got no issue with him. I think he's going to be unbelievable. When against Rangers, his movements off the ball, he caused problems. He's a few more months under Klopp, and when he can understand the language and stuff, he's going to get better. I think you put a tweet out about his language, and he is really struggling to understand English at the minute. So once that comes and he can understand basic football phrases, I think we'll see another level to Darwin, where it's more a midfielder I think we need. I'm quite happy with our attacking options at the minute. You've muted yourself.
You're actually, my bad. You're actually right about this too, because if we remember when let's take Naby Keita's fitness issues to the side. When he barely came in the first few weeks, months, years, he didn't know how to speak English at all, right? So it did take him some time to adapt, to learn the language. And as soon as he did, let's say 1 year, 2 years later, he started showing the real Naby Keita that it was in there. Now, again, fitness issues came back and then destroyed his career at Liverpool, really. But I do believe that language is a huge factor into a player's success at a team. So we'll see definitely a different Darwin Núñez as soon as he does learn the language fully, or at least pretty decently, right? So N'Golo Kante, supposedly, according to French outlet Foot Mercato, from a very reliable journalist, his last name is like Almas or something like that. I got to go check, but it's a reliable journalist. He's claimed that N'Golo Kante and Chelsea are set to depart. 31 years old. Chelsea are not offering him a new contract. N'Golo Kante wants to leave, but he wants to stay in England, London specifically. But I'm pretty sure he will be flexible within England. Again, 31 years old, not the most reliable when it comes to the fitness-wise, because he's been going downhill with his fitness after he turned 30 years old, 31. So Damon, N'Golo Kante may be the profile of a player that we need right now, but maybe not the age or the fitness reliability. What do you think? Would you make a move for him, considering that he's free in the summer?
No. I don't think we're at that stage anymore where we've got to take Chelsea rejects. If Chelsea don't want him, then why are we taking him? And Kante is one of the best players I've ever seen in this league. One of the best players I've ever seen in this league, and he's one of the most likable players I've ever seen in this league as well. And I would have loved him at Liverpool, at prime Kante, but no, I don't think he'd get enough game time with Fabinho there. You'd need him to play. At 31, it's pointless. I'd rather get a youngster. This is what we're doing wrong with our team. We're keeping players like Milner, and they're taking up squad numbers and squad places for youngsters that we can bring through, or youngsters that we can buy and proper gel into a team and for the future. If we get Kante, that's just doing that. That's what Man United do. Man United buy old age pensioners at that age, and it goes downhill. We're not that team, are we?
True. I mean, that's one side of that's one point of view. Now let's go to Matty. Matty, do you agree with Damon said? Would you not take Kante, considering the player that he has become and the player that he is right now? Do you agree or not with D?
I'd take him. I would take him for free. And what you've got to weigh up is Liverpool look as though they're probably going to go into a 4-2-3-1 now. Now, as good as Jordan Henderson looked against Rangers, let's be real, Rangers are probably championship quality. I think most Premier League sides would probably beat them. Jordan Henderson is past it, I think, now for Liverpool. He's not the Henderson he once was. So is Kante a better option in midfield than Jordan Henderson? Not to start every week, but to come in. Is he better than what we've got, bar Fabinho and Thiago and that double pivot? Is he better than Henderson? I'd probably say he was, to be honest. And then if we continue to play a 4-3-3, then Kante is also a good backup to Fabinho. Because Fabinho hasn't been great for the past year, if we're being honest, but he's probably just been doing too many jobs in that midfield. So for that context, yeah, I probably would. Just because I think Jordan Henderson's probably passed it a little bit now for us.
I think my next door neighbour's got a better chance of being in than Henderson, to be honest. I think he's a better option than John Henderson.
That's what I mean. So because Endo's getting
really much against
I think having someone like Kante come in, if you're getting them for free, and being covered if we're playing 4-3-3 to Fabinho, or being covered to Fabinho and Thiago in a double pivot. It allows you to manage Thiago's minutes a bit better, because Thiago's our best midfielder by a country mile, but when he's injured, we struggle. So bringing Kante in would be phenomenal. But like Halo said, he's on 290 grand a week, but that's in Mo Salah money territory. So he's only going to come if we're going to pay him less money. But there was a comment Jordan of Damon said about United. I feel like United is more suited to United, even though they've just got Casemiro, because they will throw 300 grand a week at him for him to come and be a squad option, where Liverpool wouldn't. So as much as I'd like him, because I think he's better than Hendo, I don't think we'll pay him that much money unless he's taking a pay cut. But then saying that, if he's on a free, we will probably pay more, because Milner's first deal, we paid him more than a lot of our players because we got him on a free. And I'd argue James Milner is probably one of the best free signings in history.
Interesting. So we got two sides of the coin right now, which is a very interesting thing. When you ask me, I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm still split, because I do agree with a lot of what Damon said. I do agree with a lot of what Matty said. I do think it's a better option to what we have currently, especially with this new system that we're trying to play in. But at the same time, the wages, the age, the reliability is going to be worse than bringing a Thiago in. Because when Thiago came in, he was around the 29, 30-year-old mark. He was demanding high wages. He had the fitness issues. We knew it. But at the same time,
he didn't have a drop in the performance, did he? He got a match in Champions League final with Thiago.
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good point right there. Thiago was not at his peak, but he was doing great in the Bundesliga and for Bayern. Well, Kante right now, is going downhill. I don't know if the club can still revive a career at 31 years old. We've seen wonders happen, but on a free, it's a huge gamble. I don't know.